Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching this. I just happen to be filming it in the morning. So here we are. We're going to add to our PowerPoint, and note that it is a PowerPoint. It's not Google Docs or whatever. It's a PowerPoint. That's the way we want it. Mrs. Maroney and I would like it in a PowerPoint form. So the Field Guide to the North American Teenager is my book. Here it is. Highly recommend it. And I'm going to do the next 3 slides that are on this list. Once again, it's on Edsby if you need to find the list of what the slides require. Okay. And so the 3rd slide is about the author. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to duplicate the slide, and then I'm just going to delete what's on the previous slide and add the new stuff. So author Ben Philippe. And the reason I found out it's Philip rather than Philippe is I just listened to a podcast, actually a YouTube dialogue interview with him. So he tells the interviewer how to pronounce his last name. Okay, so what is his or her early life like? Well, if you go and try and type their name, Ben Philippe, into Google, you get really general stuff. You get his own webpage, benphilippe.com, and you get some Goodreads stuff. You get some Twitter. Why Ben Philippe wrote a YA novel about being a Black teenager. All that is good stuff, right? But in order to truly know the motivations or the things that he did in his early life, you're going to have to do a little bit of research and do things like listen to author interviews, which I find kind of enjoyable. I think it's kind of fun, but after you've read a book or while you're reading a book, to listen to an interview by the author, I just think adds another dimension. It's like a third dimension that fleshes things out totally, because you start comparing, well, how much are the characters like this person in real life? So I did listen to this podcast. Well, it's an author interview on a website called So Book and Cool, and I'd never heard of it before, and now I really like the website, so I'm going to probably use it again. But here's the author interview. It's like over 30 minutes, and you really get a good concept of why he wrote the book, things like what he's done with his life, his work life, where he grew up, things like that. So you should find most authors are going to have something like this on the internet. If you do enough delving into it, if you do a couple internet searches, you're most cases you're going to find something. Now, just typing in exactly, why did Ben Philippe write the Field Guide to the North American Teenager, is not going to yield what you want. You have to go about it like kind of sideways. You have to listen to an author interview and find out that way. So that's just a little clue. All right, you got to spend some time with it, and like I said, in most cases, I think it's enjoyable time. So it's certainly not like doing math theorems and proofs and stuff like that. Of course, I'm sure some people love that, but just not me. So we're going back to our PowerPoint now that I've learned some stuff about him, because I learned some stuff about him. And I got to get to this slide. There we go. All right. So his or her early life like. All right. So Ben was born in Haiti and immigrated to Canada. I could look up, do more research on what the year range. He was very young when they immigrated to Canada, but I'll just say when he was very young. He went to private high school. All these things I found out in the 30-minute author interview in Quebec. He went to private high school in Quebec and acquired a unique accent that most people can't quite place. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So that qualifies as early life. Now, once again, just a word about my format here. I'm doing super generic slides just because I want you to not concentrate on the way the slide looks and to concentrate on the content of the slide. But obviously, if you want to embellish your slide with pictures or use one of the forms, the slide forms in the program, you're welcome to. So the next thing, what inspired him or her to write the book? Well, in the interview, I learned many things about inspirations in his life and his writing life. But I think the thing I learned that was the closest match to this was that Ben wanted to write a book about a regular kid coming of age in an American high school. The school was a lot like Plant. It just happened to be in Austin, Texas. So, and the way he describes it in the book, the climate even seems very, very similar. Just super hot. He's sweating all the time, and reminding me of our summer months and our warm months in Tampa. So Ben wanted to write a book about a regular kid coming of age in an American high school, and then the regular kid happens to be a Black Canadian hockey player. All right, I like that. All right, so now the next slide. So notice I keep right-clicking and I say duplicate slide, and then I just wipe out the stuff from the previous slide and write in the next one. All right, characters. Name each important character and give a brief description. All right, so Norris's mother, and then there's Felix, Norris's father. And they're the most important characters. So duplicate slide. And we got our last one for today. which is favorite quote. All right. So as you're reading, if you've written a quote as you go along, that is the easiest way to do it, rather than to go back and try and find the quote, hidden inside of whatever page. Norris is talking with his love interest, Artie, and favorite quote. And he says about them both being minorities and immigrants to the United States. She says that it doesn't matter that he's a Black Canadian hockey player or a Black Canadian, and he says, well, it doesn't not matter, and we both know it. He uses a double negative there, which is, supposed to be something you're not supposed to do in literature or writing, in good writing, but it works very well there. He does it on purpose, and I like it. So there's our 3 slides. Thank you.